right. What's up? What's up, everybody? Boom. Aloha. What is today? Monday. Monday. Hope you guys having a great week so far. What's up, Charlene? Sherry. Yep. As you can see, it's just me solo. Charlie has to work, the poor bugger. He's got to work. So he thought he could make it, but unfortunately, he couldn't. So anyway, hey, Mariello in Hilo, yeah, if you don't mind, drop your location in the comments so we can figure out where you guys at. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Couple of things we're going to talk about tonight. Couple of things. I have my notes right here, and I'll go have some fun. Have some fun. I know it's not as much fun without Charlie, but that's okay. All right. No more his contagious laugh, which makes us all laugh. He will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow, actually, I'm debating because Senator Mercado Kim and a group of other legislators at the state and county levels are hosting a town hall meeting. What's up, Luca in Kikaha, John in Honolulu? Anyway, they're Patsy in the living room, Sharon in the homesteads. All right, all right. What's up, Renee? Long time no see. Long time no see. So yeah, they're having a Zoom town hall meeting tomorrow night, and I'm thinking about Montana, Helene, all the way in Montana. Welcome, Helene. Jane, welcome from Kekaha. So I'm thinking about it's at 7 to 8, same as our time slot. So I'm thinking maybe sharing that presentation on our feed and see what they got to say. DOH will be there as well, Department of Health. I'm curious. I really am. I am curious to hear what they've got to say. So many inconsistencies going around, and a couple of which we'll talk about tonight. I'm confused. On a certain amount of things, I'm confused, but I'm very confused on the news that came out today. We'll share in a little bit. Just want to make sure everybody's on. All right, Jamie from Earthquake Shaker Kahili Pali Iki. Naalehu Moku o Ke Ave. All right. Lavanda from Ka'u. Roxanne from Hilo. And again, guys, I know a lot of you, most of you watch us on Facebook, but we are also live on YouTube and Twitter. And Uncle Charlie is working, Reen. He's working tonight. Unfortunately, couldn't get away. So I know. Our rating's gonna go down, but that's okay. I was gonna cancel, and I figured no, we didn't have you guys all weekend, and it wouldn't be fair. So I was just gonna jump on. We'll talk about a little bit of stuff, and again, talking about tomorrow night, I'm not sure what we'll do. We will be on tomorrow night, whether it's just sharing their Zoom and being able to chat on amongst ourselves versus going to their Zoom. So we'll see. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Leona from Oahu, Marshall from Mililani. We got Montana. Looks like the furthest away right now. Furthest away. Anyway, guys, lots of things going on today. The news, the headlines, Star Advertiser about the flu and influenza deaths have now surpassed COVID. Uh, and again, we'll get into the discussion a little bit. But I was really, really confused. Natasha, all the way from Kekaha, just noticed my sideburns. I've had these sideburns for a while. It's probably because I always have a mask on. Yeah, I playing around a little bit. I know at some point I'm gonna have to shave this off, but while it's here, I just wanna let it grow. Grace from Kihei Maui. Raylene from Waimea. All right. Yeah, so the story comes out today, and it talks about the flu and influenza deaths have surpassed. Yeah, what's up, Eugene? What's up, Coach? COVID. Now, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Renessa, hi on YouTube. Oh, by the way, yeah. So yeah, we're YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're all live on all platforms. If you haven't gone to YouTube, go to YouTube. Check out my channel, Mel Raposo. We have 910 subscribers so far. I'm trying to hit the 1,000 mark. So if you haven't subscribed, go over to YouTube, punch in Mel Raposo, subscribe, and hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, and you get notified whenever we put up a new video. So if you haven't done that yet, please do. We got a couple of people on YouTube right now. I get to see their comments. I don't think you guys do, but looks like Wolfman Jack. Luella in Wainai, Mila from the 96752, Kekaha, Tumatu, Lahaina. Awesome, awesome. Who else is on here? Come on after their Zoom. Yeah, we might do a post. We might have to do a post show because I'm dying. You know, every time the Department of Health speaks, or the governor speaks, or the lieutenant governor speaks, or uh, anybody in some authority, I get more confused. I actually end up more confused than before the whatever they said. So yeah, pneumonia and influenza and the flu. So this is the question I have. This is the question. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. They said in the last 12 months, flu and influenza deaths are more than COVID deaths. But a year ago, they told us that the flu was non existent because everybody was wearing their masks, because everybody was social distancing. All the doctors were saying that, yeah, we're not seeing flu anymore. But yet, in the last 12 months, they're telling us today that there are more deaths from flu and from influenza than there are from COVID. So I'm a little confused. And if anyone is on this show tonight that can answer that question, can you please let us all know? I am. I'm honestly confused at why they would. I mean, obviously it's true, or maybe not. I don't know. But every time, what's up, YPO 96797 Kalaheo? You got them covered. We got it covered. East side Hui, north side of Kapa. All right. But again, every time they come out with some information like that, it just creates more confusion. Now, the anti-vax movement, the anti-vaccine people are going to come out and say, "See, you guys lied to us. You told us that COVID was the leading cause, was higher than flu and influenza. And now flu and influenza. You telling me now the flu and influenza deaths are higher? And why aren't we requiring flu and influenza vaccines before you go into restaurants or theaters or football games or whatever?" So it's confusing, and the media doesn't ask the questions. So they print that story, and now they have the governor on the spotlight this morning, 10:30, but they don't ask him the question about that. They don't ask the Department of Health to explain it. They just come out and say, "Yeah, flu and influenza is higher than COVID." Now I'm scratching my head and I'm saying, okay, last year you told us we didn't have flu. There was just no flu around. It was very hard to find anybody with the flu. But the COVID was going to kill you, so go get a vaccine, and pushing everybody to go get the vaccine. And now, when they realize that they're maxed out at who's going to get the vaccine, now they're saying, "Oh, by the way, flu and influenza uh, deaths are higher than COVID." Unbelievable. So I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know the answer, and I'm trying to research that today. It just baffles me. I think maybe the objective is to downplay COVID now, so they can open up. And I got a video clip I'm going to show you in a little bit to touch on our second point of discussion. But I was just curious if anyone was anyone as confused as me. Was anyone as confused as me? Shari says they just want to open and lie about the numbers. I will share some of your comments if you don't mind. We're bombarded with so much information that we're confused. This is what I'm afraid of. Marlise says that's exactly what my son and I were fighting about just a little while ago. He said it's just a flu. Well, they're giving those people that ammunition. They're giving the people that are out there telling everyone that COVID is not real and it's a scam and it's a government ploy, and this is just going to fuel that fire. And again, create more issues for the rest of us. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm confused. I wish, and I'm hoping they'll cover it tomorrow. Yeah, Selena, it was in the Star Advertiser. Um, it was, I believe it was on the front page. I saw it online and read the article, and the article itself isn't confusing. What's confusing is it goes against what they were saying a year ago. What they were telling us a year ago was that basically flu had disappeared because everyone was being safe and everyone was wearing masks. So now it's different. Yeah, it's an election year. You're going to start seeing a lot of political movement now. You're going to start seeing a lot of these guys who you haven't heard from for 2 years. You're going to see them all of a sudden coming out. That's just how that game works, and it's kind of sad. But you guys remember we had this discussion the other night. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. I love this, Murray. Oh, I only trust the docs on the show. Well, we try to find the best docs. We try to find the doctors that and experts that actually speak in a language that we all understand. And hopefully we've done that. So anyway, yeah, we seem to have lost less cases, but check the counts of fatalities. Yeah, they keep saying the deaths follow the cases. We're at triple digits today. I mean, we're still in triple digits. These guys all get amnesia. The fact that they're even talking about opening up because the pressure, the governor, I cannot believe the governor, how easily swayed he is. Remember, he was on track, keeping us safe, standing up to the pressure, and all just in most recent weeks, he's all of a sudden caved in. He's caved in. He said, "Hey, shoots, let's open up. Let's open up." The news said that by the end of the week, hopefully this week, he's going to make an announcement welcoming all the visitors back from the mainland because the visitor industry is supposedly dying. I wouldn't say they're dying, but that's the video clip that I'm going to play for you guys, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Because it's that's obviously, and again, we noticed this was from day one, right? This was from day one. Everyone, all of our decision makers, elected officials, was really pushing to open. Everything was based on opening up as quick as we could for visitors, for the tourists, for the visitor industry, for the airlines, and for the hotels. And that was so clear, and it's still obvious today. It's still obvious today. And I think it's going to get worse because the travel season is coming, and they want to capitalize on the travel season. When you see this video clip that I'm going to play, many of you may have seen it already, but it makes it very clear who's controlling the ship, who's controlling the ship in this state, and it's definitely not the governor. It's the visitor industry. It's the industry that has really put the pressure on and apparently did a great job with it for their special interests. And until we get a grip on all of that, we won't see the numbers drop. Yeah, we're down from 800, 900 a day, and that's a good thing. But we still have triple digits. We still have spread. The testing numbers have dropped dramatically. Um, we are not testing as many people as we should be testing. We are opening up. Honolulu now allows drinking in bars or selling alcohol until midnight. 10 o'clock wasn't enough. They needed an extra 2 hours, or the people was going to lose their jobs. I mean, it was bizarre. Yeah? When they lobbied the governor and said, "Hey, let us serve booze till 10 o'clock. That's all we need." And then we got 10 o'clock. Now it's midnight. Then it's going to be 2 o'clock. It's incredible. It's incredible how our state just bends and don't get me wrong, guys. I want people to go to work. There's a lot of jobs. People don't want to go to work. It's not because there is no jobs, and it's not because of COVID. There's a lot of people that are unemployed but are just not ready to go back to work. They just not. And I know some places that are offering a lot better pay than they did pre-COVID to get workers in, and they just can't find the workers. Also, we saw hotels crying, crying, crying. Please open up restrictions. Please, so we can get everybody back to work. Please, governor, please, please, please. And then we lifted some restrictions for travel. These guys can now fly in untested. Yeah, if they're vaccinated or they get a pre-travel test, they come in. So the hotel occupancy was rising 70, 80, 90%, 95. The problem was they wasn't hiring their workers back. right? They're providing limited services to the guests because of COVID, right? You got to only requested room service, cleaning services. They never brought all the workers back. Yeah, Charlie is okay, guys. I sorry, Charlie is okay. He is working tonight and he couldn't make it. I apologize. Should have made that announcement at 7 o'clock. But my point is this: is when they dangled the carrot in front of the governor, saying, "Hey, we gotta open up. You gotta lift the restrictions." That was done. They didn't bring everybody back to work. So it's frustrating, to say the least. So the other thing I wanted to really talk about and get your opinions on is on the UH football. It's bizarre how our state is allowing attractions, the visitor attractions, the luau's and the weddings and the all of these other events to continue, marathons and all of these things. But when it comes to the UH football game, um, in a 9,000 seat stadium, yeah, Uncle Charlie will be back tomorrow night. I'm sorry. I was thinking about canceling, but I wanted to bring on have a little bit of discussion. Maybe we won't do the whole hour, but I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on what happened today, which was really the flu and influenza thing. But also this clip that I'm going to play because I think it's pretty interesting the direction that our state is taking. Um, so yeah, it's just confusing and frustrating. So 9,000 seat stadium, and they're going to allow no more than 1,000 people, family and close friends of the players, which is a good thing. I mean, I'm glad, I'm glad. But the the inconsistencies between the local people that want to go watch a football game versus luau's and other events that the visitors are free to go to. I just don't like that inconsistencies. I don't like that unfairness. I don't, and I think it's wrong. So I I don't know the rationale. He said there's still too many cases. There's still too many hospitalizations. So we cannot open up the football games to more than 1,000 people. But you'll compress 300 or 400 people in a luau that have these people are eating and drinking alcohol at the stadium. And I don't think we should be serving alcohol at the football game right now, not during the pandemic. But I think they should be able to have a little more than water, maybe some juice or some smoothies or some sodas. But no, it's limited to water. It's limited to water. Where did what is that punishment? There's no rational reason for that. Only water. Like, are you serious? What is having soda or another non-alcoholic beverage? How does that increase the chances of someone getting COVID? It makes no sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But that's he's standing by that. Now I anticipate that's going to grow. Maybe by the time that UH plays in Nevada after their bye week, they'll play in Nevada. Then they'll come home. I will have no doubt that it's going to be more than 1,000. I think the 1,000 was to provide a litmus test to see how the public would react, and if the reaction isn't as bad, like he really cares. But I think it was really a litmus test, and what he'll see is as more and more people start to say that's ridiculous. If you're going to let people in, they can be safe, and they can be safely spaced, and they can have more than water. I don't. I mean, I agree with him on the alcohol. Hell no, not during a pandemic. But you could have your little household bubbles sit 6 feet apart, wear your masks or whatever the case may be. But 1,000 people in a 9,000 seat stadium, that's crazy. That's crazy. Again, what's the rational nexus to that? None, none. So I don't know how you guys feel. Um, I think it's pathetic. I think again, I think it's just punishment. I don't know what the UH did to the governor for him to just really come down hard on the governor. I mean, on UH and put in these restrictions. So yeah, water, soda, juice. smoothies, shave ice, whatever the case may be. Just again, properly distance. You're allowing everybody else to go to restaurants and bars, and so again, it's just the unfairness. I don't like that. I don't like the unfairness. Hot dog, just a bun. I mean, they should allow people to bring in their own food. I'm curious what DOE going to do for KIF. I don't know. I'm not sure what the DOE is going to do. I haven't heard anything. I know games start next week. I don't know. I don't know what the high school statewide high school games are going to look like. I heard a rumor that each player got like 5 tickets they can give to family. I don't know. That should be announced again, and they know. Why won't they just tell us in advance? I don't. That's the part that just drives me nuts because then you rely on speculation and rumors, and then that's what spreads, and all of a sudden people start thinking, the rumors are true. So just come out and tell the people what you guys are planning to do, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, again, like I said, it probably won't go the whole hour. I did want to share this video because that's the discussion I want to have. And I like I said, it's a very short minute and a half, but it covers pretty much what where our state is heading. Okay, so hang on.
And good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. Governor David Ige expected to make an announcement sometime this week telling travelers that they're welcome to return back to the Hawaiian Islands.
Tourism leaders say the announcement needs to come soon as people start making holiday plans. Here's Nikki Schoenfeld.
During the Delta surge, Governor Ige asked visitors not to come to Hawaii through October, and the tourism industry took a hit.
The restaurants reported they're seeing a 50 to 60% loss there. Attractions are seeing $30 million in cancellations and bookings across the board.
Hotel occupancy was at 80 to 90%.
Now it's down to 40, 50%. So this has meant that workers' hours have been shortened. People have been put on furlough, and that's not a good trend.
UHeroes Carl Bonham says it's important to start learning to live with the virus. He says jobs are down 14% from where they were before the pandemic. Federal earnings kept families afloat, but assistance is now gone.
The crisis for many of these households is actually just now beginning, or it's beginning in a much more pronounced way because the transfer payments are going away.
Experts and leaders are hopeful reduced restrictions and events like the Honolulu Marathon will bring more people back to the state and put people back to work.
We don't want unvaccinated travelers. We want vaccinated travelers to Hawaii. But the governor needs to speak out clearly and quickly at this point.
Hanneman says it takes time to bring people back to work, and visitors planning their trips need to plan their holiday vacations around things like rental cars, which will still be in low supply this holiday season. Nikki Schoenfeld, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
As you can see, the focus, where the focus is at, it's very clear that the focus is on getting the visitors back. And HLTA and the visit industry basically telling the governor, you need to act now. Hang on. What's going on here? Sorry. Still learning this thing. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, so not one mention of testing. It's we want vaccinated travelers. We don't want unvaccinated travelers. We want you to tell the world that we are open, and we need to do that now because it takes time for visitors to plan their travel. Uh, it's just incredible. No mention of testing, and we know today's spotlight. The governor was talking again about the travel, and not one mention about the study, the Lancet study, that talks about how many of these people are coming in undetected. None of the science is being talked about. The only thing is being talked about is really the travel and getting the travel back to 100%. Now, Bonham from UHU the University of Hawaii Economic, whatever, said that jobs are down 14%. 14%. Um, yeah, that's pretty bad. But when you hear Mufi talking about hospital, I keep saying hospital, hotel occupancy is down to 40, 50%. Uh, Listen, yes, visitor industry, hotels are a huge part of our economy, but that's not the only part of our economy. And like I said, we have a lot of people that are offering higher paid jobs than they did pre-pandemic. It's just we cannot find the workers because people aren't not wanting to work. So I don't, I don't really like, and I think this push for, pushing the governor into a corner and saying, hey, you gotta make the statement now. We just got off of the surge. We're still at triple digits. We still have deaths every day or every other day, and we're already talking about like pretending that it's over. And that is where I think we're gonna get bit in the okole uh, shortly, because we're going to do the same mistake that we did the last time. We just come open up more, open up quickly, and more surges, and only to have to shut down again. Interesting, they talked about the marathon. They're concerned that if we lose these events to other venues, and they have a point, if we lose the marathon to another state, or like we did the Hula Bowl. Now, the Hula Bowl was not due to a pandemic. It was not due to a pandemic. It came down to money, that they could make more money if it went to Florida. And while it was supposed to be a temporary thing, they realized, hey, we can do it and make a lot more money here in Florida. So they have a valid concern about marathons and all these other events that may go somewhere else. But what's the alternative? You gonna allow people to get sick? You're gonna allow people to get sick and die? He said something that I caught. I think it was this morning's spotlight, or it may have been a prior one. But he talked about the marathon, and he specifically said 500. But he also said they would like to see that grow to a bigger number. And I think that's what they're banking on, that the numbers will stay low. And before the marathon actually starts, he'll exempt them, I believe. He'll exempt them from the 500 capacity and allow them to have many more participants. And that's going to create a problem. I think the experts have spoken loud and clear that we are not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods. So we need to take our time. And yes, I believe in a gradual reopening. I believe that we should start lifting restrictions slowly and safely. But you're not being practical, Governor. Like I said, you're gonna allow bars to continue to function and sell alcohol till midnight, but you're not gonna let our families go and friends go and watch a UH football game in an open air stadium that can hold 9,000 people. You're not making any sense. It's obvious that um, you're catering to the business industry. That is so clear, and at the same time, watching people die. I don't know how these guys do it. I don't know how they can have the discussion during the day and sleep at night. I don't know how you find out that you had X amount of deaths today, and you have to know that it was because you failed. You didn't do what you should have done 6 7 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago. That you ignored the science. You only listen to the lobbies. You only listen to the special interests. And yeah, you're a hero in their eyes, but in the eyes of the people, no, man. They lost the Ironman to Utah, and the hotels here on the Big Island are going to take a big hit, and they are not happy. I wouldn't be happy either, too. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't be happy either. But I think we got to understand that if we provide an experience to these people, and they have to leave for a year, that they would come back. If they're going to find a better experience somewhere else, they're going to stay. That's kind of how it works. And hang on. Mm, coconut coffee, my favorite. Yeah, so I mean, we gotta when we have these events, we gotta make sure that pre-COVID, when COVID is not a problem, or for, I guess the fluid influenza now. The one thing that Dr. O'Carroll, Dara O'Carroll talked about, and he showed his charts that stuck with me. The reason why the state started a flu and influenza monitoring division was because of travel. Because Hawaii had so many travelers that the spread of the flu was rampant because of the travelers coming into Hawaii with the flu and with influenza. So they have a monitoring program that they monitor flu and influenza, and apparently COVID is part of it. But we know the problem. We know what's causing it, right? We know that it's the travel. We know that we're a self-contained state. We're a little bunch of islands surrounded by water, which does not produce virus. Yeah, we don't have virus factories on the islands that are producing virus. No, it's coming in, and once it gets here, then yes, then we do a pretty good job with spreading it. But my point is, we know the source, right? We know the source, and I know I'm beating a dead horse and I'm preaching to the choir and blah blah blah. But we know the source. The source is travel, and not just visitors, but local residents that are traveling as well. So why wouldn't we implement a strategy that is going to keep us as safe as possible without killing the visit industry, without killing the travel industry? I don't think the test is creates a big problem. Yeah, are we going to lose some visitors? Absolutely. Uh, can we afford to lose some visitors? Absolutely. You know, 30, 40,000 people a day coming into our state. We don't even have the infrastructure for that to begin with. We definitely don't have the hospital facilities to deal with that kind of potential health crisis. So for me, it's very simple. Implement the strategies that we know are successful, and testing is the easiest one. You don't need to do a lockdown if we have testing. I'm not sure why we stay away from testing. I think they stay away from testing because they don't want to expose the real number of positive cases that come into our state from travel. Because then it would debunk their bullshit theories that they kept putting out from day one. Only 1%, only 1%. Where the hell you get that from? The only place, the only island that does real time studies and tracks visitor and non travel and travel related cases is Kauai. And at the peak of the pandemic, 40% of our cases were travel related. So I don't care what the governor or the lieutenant governor or anyone else says. I know from proof, from statistics that I know are accurately kept here on Kauai, it is a high number. Not 40% of the cases go to the hospital. No, we know that's not true. But 40% of the cases were positive, were travel related, and whether they were visitors or residents, the virus was being spread. So they just refuse to acknowledge that till today, and they refuse to act on that. So at the end of the day, our numbers will continue to rise. We shouldn't be at three digits right now, guys. The surge is should be. We should have controlled this. We should have controlled it when this. We would have never got to the 800 and 900 cases per day. We would have never had the amount of deaths that we had if we had implemented some very simple strategies with the testing. Require a pre-travel testing for everybody, vaccinated or not, and a post-travel tested for everybody, vaccinated or not. That would have that would have clipped the wings of this virus surge early on. Saved lives. We would have saved a lot of lives. But no, we chose to keep Hawaii open. We didn't want to. We didn't want to give the impression that we were not safe. We didn't want to inconvenience the visitors. The locals have no problem testing, coming home and testing. They have no problem. It's the visitors that have a problem. And one, it's expensive. Yeah, you got to pay for it. But you pay to play, right? You want to travel, you pay. And so, to me, that was our mistake when we failed to act back 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. We made the conscious decision that we were going to put the economy in front of people's lives. And yeah, the visit industry was successful. They got record numbers of visitors and travelers, and we lost a lot of local people. We lost a lot of local people. Almost 200 in a month. Wow. That was just COVID. Yeah. I haven't felt open to do anything as a local. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go pay the money and go to a tourist luau at Maui at one of the hotels or a couple of the luaus that we have here. I guess you could go pay um, and go sit in one of them luaus. That's perfectly fine. And you can sing and you can chant and you can yell and you can scream and you can applaud. You can do all of that stuff without your mask because you hold your cup, no need mask. Right? I drinking, or your mai tai. That's where the problem lies. Is we allowed a certain group of people to have benefits that the residents don't have. You know that's that's what still gets me, man. Yeah, just and they don't talk about it. The media, the TV media, don't ask that questions. No, we're gonna let. Where's my notes here? Where's my damn notes over here? We talked about this the other night. Outdoor seating, 50% venue capacity or 1,000 people, whatever's lower. Water only. So if you had a concert at the stadium, 1,000 people, and you can only serve water, no soda, no juice, and everybody has to be vaccinated. Again, that's another problem I have. And while I agree that I think vaccination is one of the best defenses, I also don't think that vaccinated people should be treated any differently than unvaccinated people. I'm sorry. I know some of you disagree. I know some of you disagree with that statement, but I do not see why, especially when we know that the vaccinated people can carry and spread the virus, not as easily and not as quickly as an unvaccinated person. But the bottom line is this: is everyone, vaccinated or not, has the potential of being a carrier and a spreader. We don't know what part of the infection the vaccinated person is in. Like we don't know the part of the infection that the non-vaccinated person is in. If they're asymptomatic, you don't know. Outdoor interactive event. This is for Honolulu now. This is for Honolulu. 50% venue capacity, 150-person maximum. Food and beverages allowed. Outdoor interactive. You know what this is? That's like a luau. All of a sudden, when you have a luau or a wedding at a hotel, all of a sudden you can serve food and beverages, including alcoholic beverages. All attendees must be vaccinated, and mask mingling is allowed. So I guess if you're not mingling, you don't need to mask. Again, outdoor interactive event. That's because that's what our hotels use, right? Their luau's are outdoors in a tent. Golf courses. I don't even talk about golf courses. This was one of the bigger reasons. The road races, triathlons, allowed with all participants vaccinated, maximum 500 participants. Mark my word, guys. Mark my word. That number will not be 500 when the marathon gets here. Anybody want to take a bet? Anybody want to take a bet? It won't be 500, I can promise you. I could hear it in the governor's tone today at his little interview. Indoor seated entertainment. Joe Coy's concert. I love Joe Coy, but you think they're gonna allow him to do a concert with 500 people? Water only? Really? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna tell Joe Coy after he sold thousands of tickets. Oh, by the way, Joe, you're gonna have to refund all your tickets because we're only gonna allow you to have 500 people. The part that gets me is 500 attendees in an indoor seated environment, or 50%. So you need to have an indoor arena that can hold 1,000 people, and then you can have 500 people. But masking and physical distancing is required. So how are you gonna sit everyone 6 feet apart? It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But again, you can see how they crafted all of these. They crafted these items or these restrictions to accommodate special interests. That's what they did. Every one of them. And of course, this is all for Honolulu, but this is just because the bars were crying that they, you know, that's an extra 2 hours of alcohol or booze. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that when they get together and they plan on how we're going to do this, how we're going to make these restrictions, we got to accomplish two things. Number one, we got to let the public know that we got restrictions. We got to let the public know that we care about health and safety. Number two, and more importantly, we got to make sure we allow our special interests to continue to be able to make money because they're hurting. Yeah, never mind all the people hurting at home because the loved one was lost, families that were destroyed. My good friend right now is still in a hospital on Oahu. The family's, struggling. That's just one that I just came out. And now there's been probably half a dozen that I know that passed away personally, and those families are devastated. A whole new adjustments got to be made, but they don't think about that. No, they're thinking about the special interests. Um, so I don't know what unless we get another big surge. It's just a matter of time before. And don't get me wrong, people. I want to see this place open up. I don't want to see 4 people dying every day. I don't want to see 12 people dying. I don't want to see 13 people dying. I don't. We've seen enough, and we know the cause, and we know what's causing the spreads, and we know all of this. But yet there's one big piece of this pie that goes untouched, right? And that's the visitor industry. That's the visitor industry. If you saw that video clip, it was very clear. Yeah, listen, Hawaii is while we are dependent on tourism, uh, there's much more to Hawaii than tourism. Our culture, our ohana, our families, how we take care of each other. We're we are naturally a very close community. We hug, we kiss, we congregate. That's what we do. We're not like anywhere else in the world. We are different, and you took that away from us. I feel like they did. I really do. And honestly, I comply because I care about everyone else. That's how we were raised. Right? We were raised to care for the next person, your loved ones, the kupuna, the keiki. We were raised that way. So for me, I take it to heart. I Patsy and I, we this has been rough because we get invited to a lot of events. We haven't gone anywhere. People must be saying, yeah, freaking Mel. Yeah, when he in office, he go every place. When he out of office, he don't go no place. No, guys, it's not. That is not it. I got an 83-year-old mother-in-law that lives very close by. I don't want to be the one giving her COVID. She's vaccinated, but I don't want to be the one passing that thing to her, and she be a breakthrough case and die. I don't want to give COVID to anybody. I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't. And so for me, yeah, we comply. And I know a lot of my friends don't. I see them on Facebook. I see the group pictures, the parties, I see all of that. To each his own, man. I ain't judging. But when you take that for granted, Governor, and you know that the majority of these people gonna be that way because that's how we were raised. I talk about the local people, the culture. You can just write that off and move on because you are banking on us doing what we do, which is being compassionate and caring, and taking care of each other. But you don't expect that Or in fact, you encourage that industry to do the complete opposite. You encourage those people to get on a plane and stuff 240 people in a little capsule to line up like sardines at airports. You're going to come out this weekend. You're going to tell everybody Hawaii is open. You don't need a test. Just come in if you're vaccinated. We welcome you. We want you back. You're going to do that this week, Governor. At the same time of telling all the local people, hey, you guys got to be careful. You guys cannot congregate. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Unbelievable. If it was anywhere else, we'd have a revolution. I respect the law. I respect the office. I respect the office that they sit in. And I will comply. Not because I believe it's true. I comply because I don't want to cause any harm to anybody. And I believe that if we go out and start getting stupid, that we will hurt people that we love. I believe that with all my heart. I'm a skeptical guy. Trust me, man. I don't want to say I'm a pessimist, but I will tell you, man, I'm a skeptical guy, and I look into everything. I try my best to research everything that comes out of these guys' mouth, and I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I would much rather the Mel and Charlie show to be about why we got to do what the governor says and why we support them. Remember, we supported our mayor all the way through because he did what was right, even though it wasn't popular. I cannot do that with the governor. I cannot come up here and say, hey, guys, I support the governor. He's going to allow 1,000 people into the stadium. And, I support the governor because he's allowing these massive luau's to continue. I cannot do that because I don't believe in that. I don't think that this guy is fair. I think he's totally impartial. And I think it's now is the time he's got to pay back the obligations that he have on a special interest because he doesn't have another term. And the lieutenant governor who's seeking that office is playing right along and starting to do what he can to take care of the special interests. And that it's troubling for me in a lieutenant governor's case because he's a doctor, he's a medical doctor. He's like the only medical doctor that agrees with that philosophy. All the other experts are concerned, rightfully so. We got Halloween coming up, and it's bizarre again that the governor mentioned something. Oh, it's outdoors is safer. You just got to be careful. Yeah, he's gonna start telling people to go out and be normal, and we still got triple digits. Remember last year when we were at the 40 cases, 60 cases, and we thought the world was going to come to an end. And now we're 2 or 3 times that, and it's much better. We got a Delta variant that's much more contagious and deadly. That doesn't faze them because they got to open up. We got to open up. Mufi said we got to open up. Mufi said we got to do it now. The hotel association guy, whatever his name is, says we got to do it now. They're hurting and they need a leeway. They need some time so they can let their people know. Governor, you need to make a statement telling everyone that Hawaii is open. Can you imagine if I was the governor? I'm serious. And for those of you that know me, know this is the truth. Because I did it once in the council meeting. And thank God the newspaper didn't take the picture and print it. But you guys all familiar with this? Yeah, this is exactly what I will tell them. You don't tell me what to do when it involves health and safety. Don't. We will open when it's safe. We will do whatever we can to take care of our people that are in need of help. That's what we'll do. Nobody gonna tell me that I better make an announcement. Hell no. Sorry, because I cannot go sleep at night knowing that people are dying. I cannot. So leave my office, and I don't want to hear to have this discussion again until our cases are down to single digits, hospitals are empty, and there's no threat of this variant popping up again. Then we'll have the discussion. But until then, bye. But no one can do that. No one got the balls to do that because everything is tied in, right? The special interest controls. It's just like that's politics. It's politics, man. So that's no. I don't know any word. I don't know about any other variants. It's been kind of quiet. I was trying to get some. Everyone's really busy right now. We're trying to get someone on the show tonight to talk about the numbers and what they see. So yeah, sorry. Wish you could run for governor. Yeah, I'm not electable, guys. I'm not electable. You got to understand that that race is controlled by. You got to have a lot of money to be successful at that level. You got to have a lot of money, and the money's not going to come to a candidate that cannot be controlled. I think people got to understand that. That's just the brutal reality of politics. Is the money is not going to go to the candidate that cannot be controlled by the donors, and that's what we see. It's so obvious. But there was a time where you could get to higher office by just being pono, being right, being fair, being consistent, working hard. But those days are gone. Those days are gone. And to run a campaign, to run a TV ad, or just buying, a mail out on Kauai, just to do a mail out to all the addresses on Kauai is, it used to be about 10 or 12 grand just for one mail out. So it's difficult. A lot of people are hesitant to support someone like myself because we call it as we see it, and it doesn't always go the way people want it to go. I do. I truly call it as I see it, and you might be my friend this week and my enemy next week because you disagreed, but that's missing right now. Right now is it's all about the special interests, and now is the time. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing this obligation now to cater to the industry because it's definitely not being done in the best interest of the people. So that's the reality. I wish they'd make me a governor for a day. I would implement the testing on that day. Uh, I would if I was a governor for a day. That the first thing I would do, implement the testing pre and post, and do a press release or a press conference or whatever the hell you call it out to the world saying Hawaii is open. You take a test, you quarantine, you take another test, you quarantine, you test negative after 4 days, you get to enjoy the state. If you're not willing to do that, go somewhere else. Really, go somewhere else. Um, because we're not ready for you if you're not willing to play by that simple rules. I supported the bubbles. I thought the bubbles was a good thing. You come in, you stay at that hotel, you keep your employees safe. They can roam the property. They cannot leave the property. You set up the geofencing. You cross that geofence line, you get arrested. $10,000 bill, cash. You get rid of the virus. You got to do those kinds of things, and that's what I would do. The first day, boom, and then the next day they would turn them all. They would just reverse it all. You get my point, though. You get my point. These kinds of crises take drastic actions, and sometimes it's not popular, but it is what it is, and it just has to be done. So you'll see. Like I said, you'll see a lot of these guys who have been quiet um, throughout the last 2 years going and start to come out now and tell all of you what they did for you in the last 2 years. You guys are smarter than that because you guys watch our show and you've heard it from the experts. You've heard the people that have been on the front lines fighting for health and safety, and you've not heard from the people that haven't been fighting for public health and safety. So, at the end of the day, it'll be up to us who forms our next government, and we really get what we pay for. We really get what we deserve. I would hope that this next election will bring out more voters than ever before. More of the young people that uh, don't vote, I think that's the campaign in itself. We got to get out there and get people registered and vote. And I remember I talked about the last time you guys in on the other islands that have districts. We don't have districts here on Kauai. We're at large, but for your House district and Senate district, get together, find your slate, and push the slate. Campaign your butts off for the slate. That's the only way things gonna change. You put one person in the legislature, it's not gonna make a difference. I can promise you. You got to change the slates. You got to get the new slates in there, and you got to get them to make the changes. You know, how is this? And I think you're going to see about it. I had an email from Civil Beat today. You guys all know about the information I requested from the governor's office last year. You also know that as soon as I sent the email, or actually it wasn't an email, I sent it certified mail. Within 3 days, I got an email back saying, sorry, the governor has suspended the open records law. So we're not going to provide you the records. I knew that was going to happen, but I wanted to start, providing a case, a record. And then a few months ago, I think it was in July. Was it in July? It was in July. I got an email from the governor's office saying the governor has lifted the suspension, so now the public records are available. Are you still interested in them? Now, for those of you that don't know, I wanted to see the list of all of the advisory committees, the task forces pertaining to COVID-19 and travel that the governor had set up, and that the nonprofits, everyone. I wanted to know it all. And I know by law they are required to keep these notes, attendance, minutes. I know that because I've been in the government long enough to know. So I said, I said, thank you for following up. And yes, I am still interested. And that was in July. I think in September, I got an email saying, sorry, your request is denied because we don't maintain those records. So I filed a request for the Office of Information Practices, who actually enforces the state's open records law. I haven't got a response yet, but I did file a complaint with them. Next step will be a civil lawsuit, but right now, and then Civil Beat, I believe I'm not sure if they watch the show or not, but hopefully they will print a story. But that was just because I wanted to see who was on the committees and the commissions and the task forces, and which is public record. HRS says it's public record, the Hawaii Revised Statutes. So this goes to my point in all of this is about the transparency in government. Now, the governor is saying that it's safe now to open up the stadium, to open up bars, to open up arenas, open up theaters, open up golf courses, open up all these places, but it's not safe enough to open up our government buildings. It's not safe enough to have the legislature back open for public testimony. It's not safe enough for the counties to open up their county council meetings to have public testimony or to meet with legislators. Now, yes or no in the comments? Yes or no? Do you think that is reasonable to allow all this activity in hotels, in restaurants, in bars, in theaters, in stadiums, all of that, but not for government operations? In fact, our council here on Kauai, our still closed. You can Zoom, but it's not the same. Legislature completely shut down. All the counties on all the islands, all the councils, no public testimony. Does it make sense? Is it reasonable? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. How in the hell can you tell us that we got to live, we as people that go to restaurants, we got to live with all these people all around the place that may not be tested, may not be vaccinated. We as the public, no, because we can stay at home, right? Yeah, you should stay at home, right? But you cannot set up your county councils or your legislatures with protective. I mean, if you ever seen the legislature, I mean, they're like in the pit, and the public sits way the hell up. You cannot tell me you cannot make that safe. You cannot tell me that you cannot provide a safe environment for the public to attend public hearings and public meetings and public discussions. You cannot use COVID as an excuse because you're allowing everyone else to do it. So, but what's our recourse? What's our recourse? The recourse is at the ballot box. And we never made this out to be a political show. A couple shows ago, I think it just ended up that way when Charlie and I was having our discussion. But we're heading down that road. Gladys, former council chair Gladys Baisa from Maui. I'm going to ask you this question. If you were the council chair today, Gladys, would you open up your council meetings to the public with proper safety protocols in place? I would. I would. I'll just tell you right now, I would. Plexiglass, social distancing, limit the number of people, sign in, sign out, vaccinated or test, whatever the case may be. You do not deny the public an opportunity to participate in local government, state government. You don't do that. Thank you, Gladys. Chair Baisa said she would. You know why, Gladys? Because you're right on. You're my favorite, Gladys. I enjoyed working with you so much because you made sense, common sense. And not because you're Portuguese, just because you get common sense. Chair Baisa, I love you. Not just because you agreed, because that's the right thing to do. How can you tell the people, no, you cannot come and testify? But you can go to a bar and testify all you like. You can suck them up till midnight, all you like. I mean, it's pathetic. You think about it, right? But it's just how. Yeah, we're just controlled by these guys, and so you guys, this is what you all should do. You all should do this. I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do this too. I already shared with a few of the council members on Kauai that they need to open. Of course, they don't listen, but this is what we all do. There's 141 people watching right now live, and there'll be many more watching after. Every one of you tonight, go to the legislature website, find your senator, find your representative, find your county council member, and just shoot them a very simple question. Why can't we testify in person at your hearings and your meetings? That's all. Please. And then I want you guys to screenshot the responses with their name and their response. And we're going to do a whole show, and I'm just going to show everybody what they said. Does that sound like fun? So tonight, everybody go to capital.hawaii, whatever it is, Hawaii, just find the website, Google, and then find your legislator, state, Senate, House, Council. Council, you got to go to your county websites. Shoot all the members, all your representatives. Same question. Why can't we be allowed to testify publicly at the council meetings or the state meetings or whatever hell it is, commission meetings, whatever? And then when they respond, if they don't respond, let me know as well. Just shoot me a little thing saying no response. But we're going to show all of our viewers, and we'll show the world what the responses were. Because if somebody's going to sit down and think of a response to that question, they're going to have to be careful, right? They're going to say, oh, it's not safe. Oh, it's not safe. But it's safe for bars to open. It's safe for restaurants to open. It's safe to run in a marathon. It's safe to go to a luau. It's just not safe for the public to participate in their own government. Please do that for me, guys. That's your homework assignment for tonight or tomorrow. The good shows tonight on TV. Get NCIS Hawaii, 9 o'clock. I started to like the show. The first one was kind of blah. Second one was way better. And tonight is the third episode. So, yeah, they are supposed to be your voices, guys. If you can do that, and we'll have fun with it. I will post it. I will share it, and we will put it together and let everybody know what all your representatives said. And then we'll have fun with it. I'll actually put it together and send it off to maybe Civil Beat or whatever. And if they don't respond, then let me know as well. Whew. All right, guys, it's 7:55. Again, I apologize. Charlie is doing fine. He had to work tonight. That's why he's not here tonight. I hope you guys had a. I know it's not as fun without Charlie, but I hope the information was helpful. I enjoyed your comments. It's kind of hard when only me, because when Charlie talking, I can go through the comments and and catch up. When you do a one man show, it's a little more difficult. But I appreciate you guys' patience. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Tomorrow night, like I said, we'll probably show that Senate committee and get council members in there and Department of Health. We'll probably just share that broadcast so we can all watch together and actually comment. They won't see our comments; it'll only be us. That'll be fun, I think. And then on Wednesday we have Vicky Cayetano. Uh, she's coming on to share her story, and I am going to ask her what the heck her plans are. What what uh, what is she going to do better if she should be elected to the governorship? That should be fun. That should be interesting. And that'll be Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So thank you all. Appreciate you guys jumping on. You guys take care. Stay safe. God bless. We love you all. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Yeah, good chat. Take care, George, and the rest of